timekeeper, thank all of you that gave up of your time generously to be here tonight or to watch on TV as well. My name is Richard Eustis, and I'm so pleased to be the Republican nominee for state representative for the 10th Norfolk District. I'm running for this office because I love the towns of Franklin and Medway, and I love the state of Massachusetts. This is the birthplace of freedom. This is where everything started, where the first shots of the American Revolution echoed over Lexington, continue to echo over this great state and over this great nation. This is the state where our Constitution was first written. 7 years ahead of our national Constitution, John Adams in Massachusetts sat down and wrote the Massachusetts Constitution. We were first, we were leaders. Phrases like, all men are born and created equal. All men are granted certain inalienable rights. The most American phrases that we identify with were written here in this state. This is our history, this is our legacy, and this is what inspired me to run for state representative. This is what motivated me to, as of this week, go door to door to over 6,000 households in Franklin and Medway, because I believe that our state government has failed this great state and can do a better job. My opponent during this campaign and I disagree on some things. He has said through the campaign and at the last debate that he thinks that Massachusetts is on the right track and doing things well. John Adams, who I mentioned, had a great phrase, facts are stubborn things. So let's look at the facts. CNBC, in a study that was years ago touted by Governor Patrick in his race when Massachusetts was near the top of it, has ranked Massachusetts 41st, from 41st to 49th in the nation in terms of the cost of doing business. And it dropped us from 6th to 28th in business friendliness, the largest drop in the country. CEO Magazine, Chief Executive Magazine, ranks Massachusetts 47th in the country in terms of the best place to do business, with one CEO saying, California and Massachusetts are in a league of their own for their anti-business regulatory environment. We've seen jobs from companies like Fidelity go over the border to Rhode Island. I don't think those jobs are going to Rhode Island because the folks there would rather watch Paw Sox games than Red Sox games, although this season, who knows? Something's not working here in Massachusetts. Thumbtack.com surveyed 6,000 small business owners nationwide and ranked Massachusetts 42nd in terms of its business attitude. And more importantly, they ranked Massachusetts near the bottom in terms of optimism of the future for the state. And on that one, we'll have the final say. On that point, I think they got it wrong. I see a brighter future for Massachusetts if the voters in this state look at Beacon Hill and honestly say, what's happening there isn't working. It's time to send candidates to Boston that make business development a priority, tax relief a priority, and work for the hardworking folks in this community. Now, in my last debate, my campaign team chastised me for not talking enough about my service. And quite frankly, I don't like to talk about my service because I don't think you should. But I've had a life of service. I've paid my own way to Haiti and worked with the poorest of the poor. Most of my law practice, I work at a reduced rate as a bar advocate rather than making more money privately. I've coached kids in basketball and soccer in this community my whole life. I teach CCD every Monday night, something I'll be doing Monday night, the night before the election. Why do I do things like that? Well, last night after my CCD class, the class came up to me and said, next week they wanted to give a gift to a student from another town who was having brain surgery in November. 9th grade boys and girls, that was their priority. I'll never forget a moment like that. And I've had the privilege to serve in the armed forces in the United States Navy. After law school, I made the choice that rather than work for myself, I wanted to serve my country. And I was honored to get the chance to do that. Now, my opponent has stated at times in this campaign that he's more qualified to serve in the legislature because of his municipal service, and I credit him for that municipal service. But I don't think it's fair to say that a veteran of the United States Armed Forces isn't qualified to serve in our state legislature. I am, and I'm ready to do it. I feel like I've hit the lottery in life 100 times in a row. I've had more blessings than I can count. If I don't win this election, I'm not going to wake up on November 7th feeling sorry for myself. But if I'm blessed to serve as your legislator, I'll never forget the folks in this community that struggle day to day. I'll never stop working hard every day to make your life better, and I'll never forget that I'm your representative and your public servant. I would love your vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief, and thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to the panelists Greg and Scott for agreeing to ask the questions this evening. And I want to introduce myself, Jeffrey Roy. I'm running for the state representative seat for the 10th Norfolk District. And I can't tell you how excited I am about the opportunity to continue to serve my community. I want to begin by thanking my wife and my 3 children for enduring this campaign for the past 7 months. It's cliche to say that a campaign like this takes its toll on a family, but I haven't been around much, but November 7th, you're going to see a lot more of me, and we're going to get that time back. I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a very important election for our community, and I think you've seen through these 7 months the clear contrast between the 2 candidates, and you'll see it again tonight. I want to thank the Franklin Democratic Town Committee for sponsoring this debate, and I want to thank you, Rich, for getting into this race and engaging with me tonight. And I also want to thank my friend Peter Padula for getting into this race, and Stoley Singleton, and John Jewell for getting into this race. This is the first time this seat has been open in 18 years, and you've given the community an opportunity to hear from candidates about this particular seat. I'm running for this seat because I believe in public service. Public service is a way of paying back, and it goes back to that adage, to those whom much has been given, much is expected. Me, my friends, and my family, we've all benefited from government programs. And these programs helped us improve our lives, helped us help ourselves. And it's our duty and our obligation to make sure that these same opportunities go back to future generations. I've been married to my wife Maureen for 24 years, and together we've raised 3 children. I've owned a home here in Franklin for 26 years, and I started my own business, a law practice, which I've owned with a law partner for 26 years. Very successful law practice, and I'm happy that I've had the opportunity to serve clients and working men and women over the years, and it's been a great opportunity to provide justice to those folks. I've served on the school committee in Franklin for 10 years, 9 years as the chairman of that committee. I currently serve on the town council, dealing with roads, bridges, any of the municipal services that we've come to depend on and expect in our community. Being in the education field for those 10 years was probably the most rewarding years of my public service. We've always been committed to high performance, efficiency, innovation, transparency, and accessibility. And it's that type of experience that I want to bring with me to Beacon Hill. In each of the arenas where I've been involved in public service, I certainly have been tested. I've been called upon to make very difficult decisions, and I rose to the challenge. I've worked on complicated fiscal matters for over 14 years. That includes town budgets, school budgets, building committee budgets. I'm going to bring that experience, those qualifications, and that commitment with me to Beacon Hill. Before going into some other aspects, I wanted to clear up some matters which came out in the last debate in the closing from my opponent. For example, he indicated that I was someone that was opposed to tax exemptions for senior citizens. What he fails to tell you is that just 21 days ago, as a member of Franklin Town's Council, I voted for 3 such exemptions on behalf of seniors in the community of Franklin. I'm very supportive of these exemptions. Well, the thing that needs to be emphasized is that these are local decisions made by local governments, and that's where those decisions belong. I'm glad he cleared it up tonight, because last week he indicated that there was a Forbes study that said that Massachusetts was ranked 47th in places to do business. As he indicated, it was not Forbes magazine that published that study, it was Chief Executive magazine. If you look at Forbes actually ranks Massachusetts as number 18 as a place to do business. And first, number 1 in the nation as the quality of life. Now, you're going to hear some other issues come up during the debate tonight. I want you to focus on who's being specific with you, who's providing you with the actual programs that are going to move Massachusetts forward. I look forward to the next 14 days continuing to engage in conversations with folks in the community, and I look forward to your vote on November 6th. Thank you very much.